V8, of course. So we can pick the bones out of this again. He was passing another car, but never got anywhere near it. Coming up to that little rise, and it starts to wiggle, and then it's gone.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, John. Something in the rear is broken or a tyre's gone down, but I think it looks almost like a suspension failure, but so absolutely destroyed that car and giving us a code 60 onto almost the end of the Dottinger, hasn't it? And
Fabi Schiller goes through and has lost a bit of time there.
Max Reeves, he slides off turn 2. And that may be a Reese's sweet move of the race nominee, because Thomas Annunziata was pointed right at the JGR 18 and somehow missed him as he spun off the wall.
We're joking with him in the garage area. He's had so much, trouble.
Oh, wow. A big hit for Jankowiak, Takuma Koga, and Rita Goulet. Jankowiak was running in the top 5, and that's the first time in some time that we've seen the styrofoam barriers at Toledo take a walloping impact. Talladega winner running in the top 5 at the time, and this is the after effect of the incident.
It almost looked like where Andy J is. It may be the 13 of Goulet and the 12 of Koga got together. Andy came along and they slid up the racetrack right in front of him is what it looked like.
Bopple got shot.
Versus Rook on the inside line. One car from the grass in the background towards the rear of the field, but the 39-strong pack turns its way through Ritchie's for the first time. Looks as though the Elwood has managed to hold on to the position. Another car bouncing over the grass in the background too, and spins in front, and there's contact. That was unfortunate. 7, 11 and 31. That's going to be at least a safety car, not a red flag.
Have a look at it. We get a replay of it. So we're coming up over the rise into Casino Square. The car just understeers straight on, seemingly, into the wall.
Big lock-up. Locks the front right, it looks like.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get an on-board view. Here we go. So into the left-hander.
Lost brakes.
Yeah, I thought it seemed a bit more technical, really, than driver error, that one. We saw something similar for Lucas de Grassi last year in Berlin, actually. He went straight on into the wall when he lost his brakes as well.
All the learning that goes on, and if you're ever going to save one anywhere in America, Dover might be the toughest place to do so. Did you see how much? See what goes down racing against the 12 of Butterbean Queen. Just got loose and didn't want to use Butterbean up. That's so tough. Such a tough position to find yourself in. That's not so bad, but I'm afraid it's going to go down and hit that inside wall. This track just sweeps you down to the bottom once you have contact.
Well, at least it wasn't with our amigo Clint. It's too early.
Caution comes out for the 5th time.
Not Clint Boyer wasn't involved in this, was he?
Oh my God, our amigo, I think.
Boyer in the 25. Making it 3 wide.
Oh, and the 14 just got loose. That wasn't Boyer's fault. That just hard 3 wide racing. Boyer saw an opening, he went for it. Anybody's going to take that hole, aren't they, Daniel?
Probably anyone would take the hole, especially because Boyer knows that the 42 truck, the white truck, he's with all tires, so he had to, fill up the gap. B-road is open right here.
So Mini Tyrell not as lucky as Boyer, who escapes unscathed.
Muller then, so he's just behind his teammate here, Pascal Wehrlein, through the swimming pool chicane. Muller, of course, as we know, has got some front wing damage, and he's just going to go straight into the back of his German teammate. Oh, big crash as we go into the Newville chicane. Dennis and Nick Cassidy come to blows as they head into the corner. Front left puncher for Jake Dennis, and clearly...
I'm going to suggest, so Verstappen, this will be the in-lap at Flansgarten as 2 Porsches got together right in front of him, and the Cayman goes left and surely hits the wall. This is the approach to Stefan Beloff S and the Schwabenschwanz, but Max for 5, 6, 7 line astern very early on in the race. 2 wheels off the ground for Max Verstappen, nearly put him in the fence during his opening stint when the car was very full of fuel. Great to have the insight recently from Philip Ellis, another AMG driver, to say when the cars are full of fuel and that tank at the back of the car can actually lift the front of these Mercedes. Something to watch for later on in the race for sure. A very violent off for the 75, one of the runners in the alternatively fueled class. And sadly, the early demise of the 45 realised Kondo Racing Ferrari when Thierry Vermeulen caught the wrong side of a Porsche Cayman in the hats and back. That speared him eventually left, ripping the front of that Ferrari to smithereens, and it eventually came of the gearbox and the engine bay. And not long afterwards, on the same oil patch, Arjun Maini, the talented Indian racer for Haupt.
Ah, he's clipped the apex.
Yeah, broken the suspension on the apex.
And here we go to the inside. Oh, wow. Pierre Gasly flipped over. Very unusual moment. And we see Liam Lawson tangling with Pierre Gasly. Nelly goes wide. Who's got the launch? It's Charles Leclerc. And does spin. It's a spin for Max Verstappen. Can the pack avoid him? The Ferrari leads. Day he has had a spin on the opening lap, a spin on the final lap, and both times the drivers kept it out of the wall. And it's 3 Grand Prix victories in a row for Kimi Antonelli. Kimi Antonelli wins.
There's 2 incidents going on. So watch here. Gellin squeezes Meunier.
This normally is not allowed in some races when you're starting to move so quickly.
Yeah. But then actually, does Meunier turn him around? Then what on earth happened in the back with Rosberg? We need to see this several times, please, if we can, in the truck. Then look here, Sousa is he on the handbrake trying to stop it, or looks like it?
Did he?
Well, there we go. Absolute drama here. This is it.
Yeah.
Look, so Dylan DeFast on the inside opens the steering up. And I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to cover off, but
that wasn't malicious.
No, I get it.
Turn right into him.
No, I get it. He's too open the steering too much throttle. Yeah, it's an
in our week of practice to run without incident. Rossi losing it midway through 2.
All by
runs
himself.
Up high, left side.
And then you see Pato O'Ward trying to avoid it. Gets on the brakes, lifts off, and just spins in the avoidance. These cars are so sensitive to the pitch. A big movement, a big adjustment on the pedals mid-corner can have that exact effect.
And that is a huge hit from Alexander Rossi to get hit by Pato O'Ward. Gearbox first going backwards.
And then same for Grosjean. You see he spun all by himself earlier in the avoidance. As everybody checks up, you make those adjustments in the cockpit is so tough. Let's listen.
Those speeds, it's over in a moment.
Wrong place, wrong time for Pato O'Ward.
Oh. Man, Rossi was already so loose.
That was an enormous shunt, such a big hit.
This second one here where Pato gets into the side of him too. They're both massive impacts.
And all the crash structure on the left part of the car has already been used up and absorbed the impact from the wall initially. So that definitely would have been a jarring second hit for Rossi. But it was a subtle, loose moment. Like you say, he was kind of loose in the middle and then just snapped very quickly.
I'm surprised that he would have stayed out. We show right along with him, Joey Logano getting into turn 1. Yeah, you heard the tire come apart. It was a rear tire, left rear or right rear.
Well, and that's exactly why you heard Joey Logano act good as some of the other cars.
Yeah, but he's going to be good. Now look, right here, these are those guys that are coming from the back. You have to make some hay right here. You have to get to the front. Oh, look out. We got one around Priest. Larson's in the wall hard. There's a champion. I was worried about this. Custer, Suarez.
And this is exactly what we talked about, starting in the back of this field. When something happens at this particular racetrack, it happens in a hurry.
It all starts right here with Gilliland in the middle. Priest is going to come around here. They're 3 wide off of 4. See Zilich coming on the bottom.
Yeah,
Priest comes down.
Yeah, I don't know that Ryan Priest knew that the 34 was still there. He came down
Priest
the
hit
racetrack
hard. That was an extremely hard hit with that 60 car, but definitely came down, whether he was cleared, to your point, or not, Kevin.
Just the left rear. You see him come down the racetrack right there. And that just sends Larson almost head on into the fence. On board with Ryan Blaney.
Up impossibly for Catherine Legg. Right here, perfect decision. She had to do that and just narrowly avoided T-boning Ryan Hunter-Reay, really sacrificing herself to protect the other driver. Horrible situation for both.
Checking on board now from the view of Graham Rahal. You see Ryan going around, nothing but smoke. You can see how much the driver's vision is impaired. They're sitting so low, guys. They're looking through the aero screen. That smoke screen comes up, and you're going over 200 miles an hour. It's so hard to make that.
Round goes Rosenquist, who has got ahead of Palou on the restart. So too has Scott McLaughlin. And we've got somebody in the wall. And it's Ed Carpenter.
Take it easy.
Ed Carpenter, team owner and driver for just this race at ECR, the number 33.
And for Ed Carpenter Racing, 3 big issues with all 3 drivers to start this race. As the AMR safety team climbs onto the nose of Ed's car, they'll have an immediate conversation and assess the driver. See the steering wheel coming off.
And that was a big hit for Ed Carpenter.
Being him and one other, not a lot Ed could do from that place.
Carpenter out of the vehicle, under his own steam. Good to... Malukas goes. Palou goes with him. Down, big crash behind, and that's Newgarden. Newgarden into the wall. Back under yellow immediately. And the Penske man, who had had such a wonderful day, rising up from 23rd to battle. Phenomenal rookie performance.
So here's off of 2.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
loose.
caught it.
Oof.
Oh, that's horrible.
Overcorrected it into the wall.
Exact same part of the racetrack. Exact same moment that Ryan Hunter-Reay had earlier in this race. Tom Rinaldi called it at the start of this thing. Treacherous turn 2 has defined this place for so many years.
Just look at the deformation of the safer barrier as he gets in there. Just such an incredible safety improvement. Really pioneered here at the Speedway. That would be a much more jarring hit from inside the cockpit if that wasn't there.
Yeah, that was... He still felt every bit of that. I know they call it the safer barrier, and there's some foam inserts between the steel membrane and the concrete. It's James, you and I have both hit that thing. It feels like it's all concrete, but it does an amazing job of dissipating energy. As you see the right front suspension, brake rotor, and hub just tumbling along through the turf.
And the crew devastated. What a month they've had. What a job they've done.
That's a good sight to see. Thumbs up from Kyle Collette as he climbs into one of the safety vehicles.
It's the replay from Connor Daly.
Yeah, Connor smart to get back on the throttle there to try to beat.
Chandler's going to try a slide job of his own, but Dillage is still there. Smith is sideways. Into the inside wall for Chandler Smith.
No caution yet.
We'll see if Chandler can drive it back around.
And just the battles that these guys are having.
Oh, trouble! Day gets turned, lifts off the ground, and slams the wall hard on the driver's side. Back up in front of the pack. A terrible crash for Corey Day. Looked like he tried to protect the spot as he was running in 6th and got turned out of line in a frightening accident for the Spire number 7.
Watch this, Regan, where this wall. See the wall give there? So thankful for safer barriers and the fact that he was able to hit a wall that moved. Watch how this happens.
And it just, you know, it made that truck look like a toy truck as it's floating through the air. And how about this by Travis Pastrana, just barely getting by right there.
Here's the 47's got a little bit of a run and just bumps him. Yeah, just didn't like. He's like, hey, I don't like that you pulled up in front of me. You know I'm coming from the top with speed. You know I'm coming from the top of speed. Do not get in front of me. 47 almost tried to make a move to go left and didn't clear. Clips him on the way by. That was just frustration, if you ask me. when your Briscoe is moving down the racetrack. We'll see right here. He clips. Oh, it looked like the 17 was anticipating the move from Briscoe and almost went to make a block. You know, try to defend. Say, hey man, don't make it 3 wide. And Briscoe had already committed to the move. Did he get a little help there? Just get loose. Love to see that a little further back. Oh, the 24. Byron comes by with a little contact, and look how hard that hit is. We talked about keeping the tires on the paint and the grip that's there. Looked like the 2 just missed the bottom a little bit. And the back comes around.
The 24.
Right.
Oh,
That's
there's
contact,
damage.
yeah,
You definitely saw some contact. So the right side of the 24 is going to have to be looked at. And what a big hit for the 88. I agree with you. I don't think there was contact for the 20. I think he just was turning in. The 20 was right there.
Just looks like it just gets loose. We saw this last year. I mentioned it earlier in the show. We had a couple of cars just back it around, lose the back of the car, lose the car, kind of no way to save it. Once it starts coming around, it doesn't seem like that they have an option or an opportunity to correct this and drive out of it. So frustrating. But when they're running the top and the high line around turns 1 and 2, Steve, they get into the turn and they load really heavily into the banking, but that load goes away coming up off the corner and the car gets light before you finish the turn. And
Well, solid. He's on a sensible bit of track when he does it, but the front's just straight into lock.
Yeah, sorry. Lock up, mate.
Gasly's looking for a lap. He's not the only one. Sainz pushing on.
9 seconds. It's going to be really touch and go for those further back. Sainz is fine. Stroll is fine. Supernatural speed into this corner. Big old lock up immediately. So as he's hit the brakes,
it got worse for the Frenchman later on.
I don't think that's pure driving error there for Ocon. He had the car straight. It shouldn't snap like that at that part of the corner. It sort of done the cornering and then it lets go. It surprised me watching the replay that was going to happen, let alone the driver in there.